Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Behind the Trance. I am Mama Danielle, and that over there is Alistair James. And today we are interviewing Triode. Did I say that right finally?
Yes, you did.
Yes.
You did.
I was practicing all last night. Alistair was like, your sound voice clips back and forth to each other because I could not pronounce it for whatever reason. I apologize.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah, it's triode, like a triangle.
I like it. Triangle, triode. So how are you, babe?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you for here. Just what's charging? So Alistair, how you doing over there?
Doing pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Could be better, but doing good for the most part, considering we are 6 weeks, 7 weeks into the year, and I either going to have the biggest vacation year of my life ahead of me, or I'm staying home, and I have no idea.
You just gotta play it day by day.
I have like all these trips, just like a finger click away from just saying yes to go, and I don't know if I can actually follow through with it, and it's driving me kind of crazy right now.
Yeah, I think everybody's in the same boat. We're all just waiting now. We're like, can we go? Good.
Bye.
It's just gonna be like in a plane. I'm like, oh, where are you? I'm on a plane again.
I don't know. I know. At this point, I'm like, I'm not gonna be. If everything goes according to plan, I'm not gonna be at work from like August 15th till after Dream State. I'll be in Europe for the most part.
So you're just gonna be living in Europe.
Come back in for EDC Vegas and then fly back out. So I'm just gonna take a leave of absence from work.
They're probably just gonna kick you out. Be like, look, you've killed off your visa, man. You gotta go. Like, you gotta go back.
I figured. I think the visa works at 6 months in one country. So if I'm only there for like 2 weeks and then hop around, I might be able to, hop into UK for a little bit. That's some Brexit now, and hop back in. Might be able to.
Will you go back to Croatia though?
What?
Will you go back to Croatia?
I would go back to Croatia in a heartbeat. That country was gorgeous. Absolutely
jealous. I'm so jealous.
So, Chris, or Triode, where would be the first place you'd take off to?
Oh, wow. The first place I'd take off to, I would probably anywhere in Europe, honestly. Netherlands. Just because I think there's a lot of people there that, like, just a lot of people I want to meet and hang out with there. Yeah, that'd probably be the first place. But you know what? Europe is not like the United States. You could just get on a plane and be somewhere else in 2 hours instead of like 6 in the United States. So I'll just start in one place and just keep going around. It's fine.
I think that's a good way of thinking. That's how I would do it. Just kind of start north and work make my way south, or vice versa, and back and forth. So we'll see. Maybe we'll be in Europe together.
Hopefully.
ASAT 1000.
Yeah, ASAT 1000.
So that's gonna be a fun one.
And you know what? I'll just go. As long as there's something going on, I'm gonna be there. It's fine. Just anywhere but here.
That's kind of
Right?
that's definitely. I just want to be. I don't want to be in. I love my city. I absolutely love LA. I would not live anywhere else in this country besides the city. But I want out of it so badly. I want to go to Europe.
It's like I've seen every single inch of this room at this point. I'm
Yeah.
done.
I've remodeled it already twice.
Yeah.
So,
I need to remodel.
Alistair, any remodeling?
So I'm thinking of like downgrading furniture and then upgrading. I'm more of taking it like
downgrading.
day by day, mostly.
So I know, Chris, when you first started the streaming back in March, April, your studio did not look like that.
No.
So decorating.
Yeah. We added the lights. Obviously, you got the blue ones, and it changes colors. Obviously added the camera. We rearranged everything so that there's a sort of it looks a little bit better behind me. And there's a light up here. So there's a lot of new stuff here, just specifically because of streaming. So it didn't look like this. It was more ergonomic now, but now it's just more. It just looks kind of. As long as it looks good on the camera, that's kind of what it was.
I like the original setup. It was. I think your your original set was still advanced to a lot of other people's at the time. So now you're even further.
More advanced.
So,
I mean, this is still that's still the studio area, you know.
Yeah.
That really hasn't changed that much, mostly because it's too heavy to move around. So, but everything else beyond that has changed. So,
yeah. Awesome. So thank you again for coming on our episode number 4 today. And you talking about streaming just hit 100th stream, 100th episode.
Yes.
Of
Yeah,
your
100.
show?
yeah, we're coming up to the 100th episode. So next one is after this it's on this Friday the 20th, or 19th if you're on the West Coast here. That's the 99th episode, and then Sunday, the 21st will be the 100th episode.
Nice. Are you excited? Did you even think you would get to 100 episodes in less than a year?
You know, I really wasn't even thinking about it until I started. Like somebody said, how many streams have you done? And you know, I went back to count, you know, all the number of streams, because there's a thing on Twitch, you can look at that, and I was like, I counted, it was like 50. Wow, I actually did 50. Oh, that's cool. So then I started counting. So I didn't really expect. I wasn't even thinking about how many I did until that moment. And then I started actually counting.
Awesome.
Nice.
So what exactly do you have planned for your 99th and 100th episode?
So we have. I'm running my very first raid train on Twitch.
It's
You know, I've
time.
joined other raid trains before, but I've never actually organized my own. So I thought this will be a good time to try to organize one. And my shows are kind of pretty close together. There's one on Friday nights here on the West Coast. For me, it's Friday nights. And then there's one on Sundays. And I thought that's about 48 hours. You could just make one raid train out of that. We'll start here and then end there. So that's what we have planned. We have pretty crazy lineup. You know, we have Sean Tyus and Craig Connolly, and we actually brought in a couple streamers who I haven't seen really much on the raid trains before, so they're either, and a couple new genres, because I really wanted to kind of bring out some music that I really believe in. So we have Liquid Todd from SiriusXM.
Oh, Todd.
nice.
He's a Group Cruise fan.
Dude, Todd is amazing. Davius Spray is going to be. What's funny is that I think it's going to be literally his very first live stream.
Oh
ever.
boy.
So we're kind of like, okay.
Oh.
Hopefully, I think everything's going to work out. I'm gonna check up on it.
Gotta get that technology.
Yeah. I gotta check up on him, make sure everything's cool. We have Rain, who's actually was just recently on the Anjuna Beats live stream.
Oh. Okay.
Christina Sky, I don't think she's ever been on a raid train. She just joined Twitch probably about a couple months ago, so that's really cool.
She's pretty recent.
And we also have we have this guy named DJ Buck Rogers out of Texas, and he's an open format DJ. He's like a 2016 DMC World Champion. So if you know anything about like scratching and stuff like that. But his open format, I mean, he's really musical, super talented, amazing visuals, and I absolutely love going on with his stream and watching him perform. So I wanted to bring that into the fold, not just to kind of open up the musical genres a little bit for everybody. So that's what we have planned this weekend.
Awesome. Definitely gonna try to jump in a couple times and give some support and love to wherever the train is at.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm very excited about it. So, yeah, I think it's just it's pretty cool.
So with how successful you've been with streaming, do you see yourself continuing to stream even post-COVID?
Well, yeah, definitely. I don't really think about will I continue streaming post-COVID. I think the question to me is, what is Twitch really going to look like after COVID? Because if you think about it, like we have people playing, all the music can be distributed. You have YouTube, you have Spotify, you have SoundCloud, you have podcasts. People buy stuff on Beatport or iTunes or whatever. So there's a lot of different ways people can consume music. And I think live streaming, even though YouTube Live is a thing, Twitch is a little bit different. It's interactive, and I think that's a new medium. So it's not a question of whether I'm going to continue doing it. It's more of a question of like if we're doing live shows, if we're out doing gigs and stuff like that, how can we take what we have from Twitch and how can we incorporate that? How do we put that back together so that it becomes part of everything? I mean, I have a lot of ideas like that with how to incorporate stuff. So
Awesome. And I think you're right. I think Twitch and streaming is actually going to be here for, once everything opens up, for the simple fact that it is a medium that can reach thousands of people that never could be reached before. Tomorrowland, take for example, that live stream. People who've never been able to get to Tomorrowland because those tickets sell out, like that, were able to get a full Tomorrowland experience at their home. And I think, those big kind of streams like that are going to be here for a while, just because now Tomorrowland can sell, their 30,000, however many tickets that they sell for the event. And then they can sell online another 20,000 tickets to reach, places that would never get there or can't travel there. And they just doubled their profits and their audience in a single weekend.
Yeah.
So I definitely think it's here to stay.
Yeah, I mean, it's something different. I mean, we have something that you can't do in a live setting that you can do in Twitch is the interaction. So, I think that is the whole. Did you guys see the Alice Wonderland show that she did?
I caught bits of it.
You heard about this? This thing was nuts. Like it
was
full on.
crazy.
It was like a full on video game at this point. At some point, and I remember watching a thing where like people were voting. Like she was doing this motion capture thing, and she was all in 3D. And then people were voting to change what she looked like. And then when the vote happened, like she exploded, and then she turned into this big monster, and she was still DJing. And
What?
I thought that was, that level of interaction. I'm just like, dude, that is next level. That's gonna be cool. That's gonna be cool. Like, and you start thinking like, how do you do that? Because you can't do that at a live show. You can't just like, watch Tiesto or something and it blows up and then it turns into a squid or something. Like that doesn't work. But like how do you incorporate these sort of interactive elements in something that people can work with? Not just view, but be part of the show, not just watch the show. So
yeah, I think that's awesome, and I think knowing your background of technology, I'm pretty sure you're thinking of ways to do that.
I'm always trying to think of ways. It's just a matter of like, can you actually execute them? So that's always an open question.
So I know, you wear a ton of hats in the scene. You're not just a DJ or producer. You do a lot on the back end, especially for Trance in San Francisco. You do some even liaison work for the artists when they're coming through. What would you say is your title outside of DJ producer?
I won't have a title. It's just whatever the title is. Sometimes the title is the official chauffeur. Sometimes it's the guy who's supposed to get the vodka or something.
The vodka guy.
Sometimes it's the artist booking. Sometimes I'm the web guy. Sometimes I'm the sound guy. Like, whatever hat gets me in backstage, I'll wear that one. No.
I attest to that.
I think people need to realize sometimes that it's not just you're not backstage as your friend with a DJ or you're a DJ. You are doing a lot of work back there. You are not just chilling and.
Oh no! Don't get me wrong. There's definitely chill moments.
Yeah, there's definitely chill moments back there, but you're also working.
yeah. I mean, we are working. We're doing stuff. We're trying to make sure that everybody's having a good time. Making sure the show is going on the way it is. Making sure artists are happy. But at the same time, I'm there to party with everybody else and just have a good time. So it's to me that's part of the fun.
Yeah.
I love doing all that stuff. I like keeping busy. I like learning about all those little aspects of the show, like everything from lighting to just all the little stuff. Where the guys at the hotel, getting people picked up, and talking to people, and then of course even all the tech stuff, I find that all very interesting. So it's, that's why I kind of do it. It's partly because I like doing it, and also it's it helps other people have a good time.
Awesome.
Speaking of all the tech stuff, recently you did a stream at the Midway, I believe.
Yeah, it was 3,000. That was a 3,000 follower stream. Yeah.
Yeah. Was there anything like special that you did to throw that on?
Well, we had obviously it was during COVID, so nobody could be there.
Yeah.
Except for a few small friends in our little COVID bubble, if you were.
The Midway COVID bubble. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was Blur and Crispy and Find the Rabbit, and we kind of put the whole show on, the four of us together. We basically just took over the whole club. So we ran the lights, we ran the machines, we ran the DJ booth, we ran everything. And it was just a lot of fun just to, literally, it's our own club. And there's just four of us.
Oh my God.
We had the whole system to ourselves. We cranked the music up really loud. We danced, it was a lot of fun. So, that's what we did. and we live streamed it, of course.
That's always fun.
I need to get on that level.
What was that?
I really need to get on that level for a certain stream going on that I can't talk about until the flyer comes out.
Is it really that? Oh, okay. I can't even talk about it, damn it.
Sounds like we have a party coming up.
Okay. Is it a fiesta?
It could
Or
be.
is it a siesta?
I don't know.
It could be both.
We're going to keep it
It
quiet.
could be both? We can sleep and stream?
I mean, we could.
That guy just left the stream, had 16,000 viewers or something like that. So it's possible.
Dude, I don't know how those guys. I'm like, wait, you're literally getting paid to sleep?
Yeah.
What am I doing with my life? What the hell?
No, for real. I saw that and I was like, genius.
I need to get on that level.
He made a lot of money too, right?
I think he
so,
did.
yeah. Some of these dudes make a shitload of money, so I have no idea. But I mean, I don't think you're sleeping, to be terribly honest.
I will. If you're gonna pay me to sleep, that is like a dream job right there.
All right, I'm going to bed now, guys.
Bye. My bank account's open. Just start sending money.
Here's a tip jar.
Here's a tip jar. Here's my Venmo link. I'm going to bed.
Yes.
Have a great night, guys. I'm going to bed.
Talk about
Yes!
making money. So, talk about making things. You have a shit ton of remixes and bootlegs. Along. I was just going through and I didn't realize how many you actually had.
They're all
and you recently
really
just started
good.
kind of giving some away in downloads and
Yeah. I went through the folder and I think between remix and bootlegs alone, there was a folder of about 50 or so that have never been released ever. And I was like, I could just give away one a week and I'd still not run out by the end of the year. Yeah, so there's a ton of them. There's a crap ton of them.
And they're not necessarily just trance. Your genre is pretty open sometimes with your music. You make good music, but it's not necessarily pigeonholed in a genre.
No, it's not. It's it varies a lot.
Do you think that helps you though, by not, or hinders you sometimes that you're more?
No, and so I guess in some ways, I mean, it's a little harder to market yourself, because I know you're like, oh, it's an uplifting trance guy, or it's a big room trance guy, or a big room trance, or it's just an EDM DJ or something. And it's so what is Triode? It's a little harder to pin that down. So I think in one sense it's a little harder, but for me, I don't like being kind of stuck in one place. The only thing that's kind of more or less constant is the tempo, which is 138. That's pretty much where I play and write my music. But as far as the sounds goes, it kind of pulls in from basically whatever the hell I'm listening to at the time. In one case, I was listening to a lot of psy trance and Vinny Vici stuff. So things kind of had a very, very psytrancey feel to it.
Is
Like right
that-
now, I'm listening to a lot of Big Room, a lot of hard style. So a lot of
that makes sense for that Darren Styles bootleg you had.
yeah. So exactly. So there's a lot of these these other pieces of music that are getting in there, and I think part of it is just like I want to play that music, but it's at 150 BPM, so I gotta kick it back to 138 or something.
Play that 150. Bring back old school hard trance.
Let's
Where
do
it was
it.
at 145, 150, 155. I'm saying I was there when John Askew did that hour of old school hard trance at Lumi.
It was
And
so
that
good.
Was the 150 plus, and I was sweaty from dancing, and like it was fun being there. That was one of the highlights of Lumi that year, and yeah, we need that 155 old grudgy pretty much hard dance.
He was starting out at
Hard
160.
dance.
He's just like blazing, like guns blazing, shotgun.
Essentially, yeah.
And you know what though? Here's the thing. I actually think that's cool. When you watch an artist do something, when you watch like John Askew or anybody do some other genre that isn't what they're known for, it kind of gives you a glimpse of like, okay, this is the guy's like breadth of music that he has in his head. To me, that to me makes me more, gets me a lot more into an artist. I'm like, oh wow, he can like do that. That's cool. I wonder what he would play if he wrote like folk music or something weird. Like it seems to me like a cool thing to know that an artist is not just one genre of music. And if again, that's what I think about artists. Is when I listen to guys. So
Awesome.
So if you could, how would you describe the Triode sound?
Energetic, just like me.
That's fair enough.
There's always a level of energy into it. It's I can't seem to write like the Anjuna sound. There's a lot of energy to it, but I'm just like it needs like Darren Styles level of energy or something like that. So I think everything that I write or everything that I play has something of that festival level energy to it.
For sure.
That's what I would say my sound is.
Awesome. Well, we actually have a question from one of our listeners. Amanda wants to know, did you ever finish Cyberpunk 2077?
Can I call a friend now? Can I use that? No. No, I haven't finished it. I did not finish Cyberpunk 2027. No, unfortunately, I haven't. I haven't had even time to play it lately. So, but I want to get back to it just because it's an amazingly fun game.
So then the follow-up question will be, since you recently ordered a Switch, what will you be preoccupied with?
Mario Kart.
That's a great answer.
I support that answer because it's the only game I know how to play.
Mario Kart I've been playing since the Nintendo 16. I've played every single one since the Nintendo 16. And so when it came out, I'm like, oh, Switch, okay, buying a whole new console just to play Mario Kart. That's the only thing I bought the console for.
Yes.
I like Mario Kart because I'm competitive. Like I don't do single game online play, like that. But I love multiplayer games, so I'm competitive. So like the Wii was probably my favorite console ever because of all the interactive games you can play. And yeah, Mario Kart's been definitely was up there with the Crash Bandicoot. I think I was actually more of a Crash Bandicoot fan than I was with Mario Kart.
That's a great game.
Sorry, anybody who is listening, but I liked Crash over Mario.
I think that there's a certain point when I get so into Mario Kart and like, you're in first, and then right before you get to the finish line, some blue shell smacks and blows you out of the water, and then two guys just come out of nowhere and beat you, and then you're third. And at that point, I'm like, and I just throw the controller and everything, and they're like, "This kid's nuts," and I'm like,
I think we should stream that.
Yeah, I think
You
I
could.
honestly thought about it. I was like, you know what? I should totally just go ham on the Mario Kart thing again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's Mario Kart streaming out there on Twitch, but but you and like Manuel Lasso, he's a big gamer.
yeah, he is. He's
He
a totally
is.
good gamer. He
We
plays
could, you guys, we could have you guys do like a Italy
head
versus
to head.
America death race in Mario Kart.
Oh, dude. I'll take anybody on in Mario Kart. Like honestly, I'll take anybody on. I'll play.
Oh
All right,
god.
people in the audience, you want to take them on?
We'll do that as a stream. We'll like, okay,
We're gonna stream.
it's Triode versus anybody at Mario Kart.
Triode versus all.
I'm all for that.
I'm okay with it.
I would actually watch it just because I want to. But you have like the screen and then the picture of everybody's face playing, so I can see their reactions when they get hit or like when they shrink or
Oh
they get hit by the
yeah.
squirm or stuff. Because that's usually when I get the most angry when I'm playing, and I'm like, what the fuck? I was in third. How did I end up in 12th?
Yeah, exactly. This is bullshit. This is bullshit.
God.
I got a star. And it's not fucking helping.
Yeah, like you said, it's always right at the end. And you're like, what the fuck? I was leading the whole fucking game. What the fuck? Oh man, I hate that shit.
I hate it and I love it because I'm just like, this is so Mario Kart for you. Just like be first the entire time, you're killing it, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're back in the line at the very last lap. And you're like,
Yeah.
really.
Oh god.
I will totally do that. I think we'll have to figure that out in the stream.
Your 101 stream will be Mario Kart.
Oh, Mario Kart. Okay.
101.
All right, we'll work on that one. Yes.
Guess you'll have. I think the one guy doing the Switch streams is Sean. I think he's done it a couple times.
Yeah. So actually, Sean Tyus is the guy who convinced me to get a Switch. Because he's like, you got to get a Switch. I'm like, you got to get a Switch. Come on, dude, you got to get a Switch. Why? It's fucking crazy. Look at those fucking games. All right. I'll look into it. Oh, it's sold out, Sean. He's like, oh. And then I was like, maybe I should get one. And then I saw they just had it released again in stock, and I'm like, all right, I'm pulling the trigger. Boom, and I bought one. And I talked to him. I was like, dude, I got a Switch. He's like, yes, we got a Switch. You're on. It's on, dude. So we're both excited. Oh, hello.
Wow, suddenly knits.
No, you don't like that? Really?
Aww.
I think she didn't like the story, or she was saying that Sean should have bought it for you.
Oh.
If he wanted you to have it, he should have paid for it. Right? Yes.
Yeah, maybe you know what? If Sean, if you're watching, you owe me $300 now.
He wanted you to have it. I think he should have. I will get a Switch when they make a Guitar Hero game for it.
Oh my god. I think they made a DJ game for it too, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works.
I think they.
Because
did.
I miss Guitar Hero. It was one of the games I actually really, really enjoyed playing. And I don't have my brother's Wii because I used his. No longer works, and I can't really find one online that's decent or find the game anymore.
Hmm.
So I need Switch because it's pretty much the only console that would be capable, really,
Yeah.
of it. So I need Switch to come out with a Guitar Hero game, and I will buy the Switch and the Guitar Hero, and I'll even throw Mario Kart in there just for shits and giggles. So come on, people out there in Twitchland, let's get this going. Let's get a petition.
You should.
There it is, you guys. It's Mario Kart 8, and some
Guitar Hero, whatever number, DJ Hero,
DJing Hero, and Guitar Hero, and
God.
Violin Hero, and
Rock Band. But we're gonna do it all.
folk band Hero.
Polka Hero.
Polka Challenge.
God. So on the same topic,
Dance was amazing.
on the same topic of interactivity, you developed the.
I know we went way offline.
Wow.
It's all good. Sorry. Go.
Come back to Trance.
Behind the trance. Just right here.
Yeah.
So along the lines of interactivity, you developed the press the button software and the now playing software. Like, how did you come up with the ideas to do both of those? And what else
Oh,
is in the pipeline?
oh wow. Yeah. Well, so push the button. So now playing came first. Basically, it was
Mm.
like you're in you're DJing and people are saying, hey, what is this
ID.
song? And you sit there and you have to like stop DJing. You have to type on the keyboard, and it's really disruptive to like the flow of DJing. So
Mm.
you don't want to do it. And I'm like, and I've seen other people. I've seen other software before I wrote mine that did it, and I was like, wow, these are really hard to install. Like you got to like download code, you got to do all this stuff. And I mean, I'm technically capable of doing it, but I'm just like, this is crazy. I got to do all this technical shit to like get it to work. And it also like it wasn't customizable. I couldn't customize the way I wanted. So, so I decided to just write my own software and do it myself. And it took a little while to get it working. I remember like it would break for like weeks on end
Ooh.
because I'm like it worked when I was testing it, and then when I DJ it breaks, and so I had to fix all that stuff. And then eventually, I think it was Darude who found out that I had this, and he was like, "Hey, does it work for Tractor?" And I said, "Well, it just so happens that I was looking into it just to see what it was like. So let me modify the software a little bit to see if I can get it to work for Tractor." And so I made it work for Tractor, and then I saw it, and I thought, "Oh, you know what? I think other people would love to have this because I made it a little easier to use because I didn't want to deal with problems. I'm sure nobody else does." So I cleaned it up and made it something a little bit easier to use for everybody. So that's where the idea came from. It was just basically I had a problem for myself, like that I just wanted to solve for myself.
Mm.
And then the push the button sort of came out of that because it runs in the same software on the same software platform. It was called ProLink Connect. It was made by Evan Perkheischer, and
Oh.
he did all the packet analysis already and stuff like that. So I kind of laid my program on top of it, and we were chatting on late one night about the software, and he's like, "Hey, I found this. We found the packets for something called a push start, and it's fader start, which is it's only on the 900 Nexus models of the mixers."
Mm.
And what it allows you to do is when you push the fader up, it starts the CDJ. What actually happens is that it sends a packet through the network and it starts the CDJ. And I'm like, wait a second, you can send the packet from the mixer to the CDJ. Why can't I send it from the computer to the CDJ? And if you can send it from the computer to the CDJ to start the CDJ, why can't I send it from Twitch to the CDJ? And so it just, one idea led to another, and we're like, hey, why don't we just remake, why can't we just remake Above and Beyond's Push the Button, but make it virtual? And so that kicked off it kicked off about 2 weeks worth of development.
Oh wow.
And we
You did all that in 2 weeks?
Well, so we did the proof of concept. Like basically, we just wanted to test the idea to see if we can actually make it work. It took us about a week and a half, 2 weeks or so to get it to work. And then once we got it to work, I started to try to incorporate the Twitch stuff. And the software was really buggy for like literally 3 months. I was like, I would test it before the stream, say, okay, everything works. We go stream, and then somebody would do it, and the CDJ wouldn't start. So like, it just went on. That literally went on for 3 months. Every stream for 3 months, I would be like, okay, will it work this time? No. Okay, next stream. It was just do it. It never worked live for some stupid reason, or for various reasons. So we kept plugging away at it. I kept plugging away at it, I guess, for about 3 months, and then
Oh my God.
one day it actually worked.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I remember seeing your reaction. I remember seeing your reaction to it, and it was just hands down one of the best reactions I've seen ever.
You work at something for 3 months, and this is a live show, so like every live show, it fails on you, and so eventually when it did work, I was like, it was for me, I was just like, yes, it finally fucking worked.
God, that was great.
So yeah, that was push the button. I did another app clamper. So basically, you can watch multiple DJ streams at the
Oh
same
yeah.
time.
Mm-hmm.
Because basically, I'd watch a bunch of DJ streams, and they'd be in different tabs. And then at some point, you have so many tabs, you don't know where the damn sound is coming from. So you're like closing tabs, and the sound is still going. You're like, what the hell tab is making the music? So I just made another app that just puts all the music into one tab, so I know where it is.
I think that's awesome. Like you make it sound really, really simple, and I know it's not. I know it's really complicated, and there's a lot of stuff on there. And for someone who could barely get her microphone to work half the time, like this, it sounds so complicated, and it's both amazing and fascinating how like easy you talk about it.
I've programmed it for a long time, so it does come a little. It's not easy. It's just a lot of work. Let's put it that way.
Okay. So I know, San Francisco's are part of our tech giant area, and all the tech kids out there. So you find it easier being up in that area to find other like-minded DJs, producers to collab.
No, I mean you mean like DJs in San Francisco?
Yeah, who also have your tech background to make the stuff.
So I don't know. The only other DJ / programmer I know is actually Evan. Who has a very, very good programmer. He's also a very good DJ. So I don't know a lot of people who have that exact combination. Like they're either DJs or they're coders. Or something in between, but they're not like both at the same time. So
I thought there would be a lot more. You guys just like coding entire sets and backgrounds and explosions. Like
I mean, there's a lot of coders, and then they're like, there are a lot of coders, there's a lot of coding guys who like kind of dabble around with DJing a little bit. And there are a lot of DJs who kind of dabble a little bit with code. But somebody who's like done like a lot of it in both areas. I haven't seen that. I haven't met that many. How's that? And if you're out there, let me know, because
we're gonna start a Facebook group for you guys.
We're gonna start a support group for us.
DJ coders support.
Support group for
something.
Programmers who are stuck trying to DJ at the same time.
Does your background in coding and knowing that help when it comes to producing? Because producing is almost working with programs and stuff like that.
I never looked at all.
You know what? Not really. It's kind of writing music is very much a sort of creative thing. There's two parts of producing. There's the very creative end of it, and there's the very analytical end of it. And the creative end, it's just literally just feel and groove and drive and all that sort of stuff that you want out of a song. And then when I go into analytical mode, then it's just more like EQing, and compressing, and changing ratios, and all that sort of stuff. So there's always, and mixing. So there's always these two, it's like a left brain, right brain kind of thing, if you know what I mean. And the programming part of it doesn't really come into play a lot, other than maybe just the analytical part where I'm kind of logically thinking about what parts of the song have to go next and what pieces they have to play. But that, not really too much programming into that, no.
Alright, awesome.
Nice.
I don't know if that's a good answer or not.
I mean, honestly, you can really say anything when it comes to coding, so I have no idea what any of it is.
No. So every song I wrote was done AI. I didn't even write any of it.
So what you're saying is that ghost
believe that.
producers.
This computer, its name's Jarvis.
Okay.
So what you're saying is that ghost producers have reached a whole entire another level of just being AI.
Yeah, that's where I'm going next. I'm gonna make a program that basically writes all of my music for me, and I could just sit there and collect money. That's my goal.
That's almost the same as sleeping and making money.
You know what? I think that's a better route, because then I don't have to do the programming again.
Yeah,
sleep.
I think sleeping is still number one, but this is probably right up there, number two, number three.
So,
I think eating might be number two, like 1, sleeping, 2, eating, getting paid, and then 3, having somebody AI ghost produce for you.
Dude, they figured it out. They figured it out before us. First mover advantage. We're screwed. Nobody's gonna.
Has somebody ate and streamed at the same time? Is that something?
Yeah,
Is that a
there's
thing?
streamers that do it. They basically stream 8 hours a day, and they They basically wake up, turn the camera on, and just do stuff. That's it. They shop, they go buy things, they go clothes shopping, they play basketball. Like, they just live.
Why the fuck did I go to college?
And dude, they're making money. Like, they're actually doing well. And I'm like, literally?
What?
You just get up, turn the camera on, and money just happens to show up for you just doing
Why
stuff?
did I go to college for 4.5 years?
I didn't know this was a thing.
Alright.
I demand to talk to my high school counselor and tell him why did they not foresee this in 20 years, and I could have saved a bunch of money.
Okay, well, I don't think they knew what the internet was at the time. So
Yeah, my first year of college was still done on paper, so like I had to like sign, my fill in what's it called, the schedule. I pick my schedule by hand and paper and turn it in, and to see if there's a room, and then I have to go back and like make adjustments. I'm that old.
they have these things called fax machines, which are like weird printers or something.
Yeah. And I learned to type on a typewriter. I'm that old.
Okay, I got you. I think I've seen one of those before.
In a museum. In a museum. On a Netflix show or something.
I saw it on Netflix, yes.
So we actually have
It was in the background of the Queen's Gambit.
So there is a question from Golden Boy Mike to Triode,
okay.
Of course. As a coder/programmer, which DAW do you think is best to work in the most for production?
Which DAW is the best to work in as a computer programmer? It's hard to answer that question because I've been using Ableton Live since version 6, which is like, I think, probably 8-9 years old at this point. So
Wow.
I just kind of got used to Ableton Live as a DAW. I think, for me, I think Ableton Live makes more sense. There's less stuff in it, and it just it's mildly simpler than, I guess, Logic or Pro Tools or something like that. So yeah, I mean, as a programmer, it's hard for me to say. I think if you want to talk about weird things about Ableton Live, the Ableton Live file is actually a compressed gzipped. It's a compressed tar file of an XML file. So you can actually take apart you can open it up, and you can actually look at all the pieces of code that runs the actual file. And there's Python built into it. I have never actually figured out what to do with any of that stuff, but I know that you can. So as a weird programmer thing, you just kind of I take things apart, and I took like Ableton apart a little bit. And I'm like, oh, you can do that? That's weird. I wonder what I can do with that. No, I can't. It's too much work.
So in essence,
it sounds like a mechanic. That's what mechanics do. They just take like shit apart and see if they put it back together.
Yeah, it's like when you're a kid, you just took all your toys apart, and then you try to put it back together, and you're like, why do I have this one screw still? Where did this one screw come from?
So in essence,
it's like IKEA furniture. I'm like, I put this thing together, and I'm like, where's this fucking thing go?
I always have extra pieces when I have built
like,
furniture. I just hope it doesn't break if somebody sits on it.
Exactly.
Like, that's what that screw was for.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, that's why the leg doesn't stay. Okay, yeah.
So in essence,
I'll fix it tomorrow.
what you're saying is that Ableton Live is open source?
No, Ableton Live is not open source. Ableton Live, for me, just works with my head. That's the way it is. It's just the way the DAW is laid out. Everything's kind of in the bottom of the screen, or the right-hand side of the screen. It's very powerful if you want to dive into it, or it's very, very simple if you don't. So, it's kind of unlike, I guess,
Cubase,
like Pro Tools or something, where there's just menus inside menus inside menus, and I'm like, where the fuck is everything?
I can't use Pro Tools at all.
So I like that as an interface. It's that it gives you that ability to be simple and get things done, or if you want to just dive in and go completely nuts down the deep end, you can do that. So that's why I kind of like it. So that's probably a better answer.
Yeah, I hope you're satisfied with that answer. So, sounded great to me, but then again, I don't know the difference between any of those stuff. So I just throw the word Ableton out every once in a while, just so I sound like I know what I'm talking about. No idea. No clue.
Well, you should.
It's a great piece of software. You know, it's a lot more stable now. It used to suck, but now it's a lot more stable. So.
All right. If you guys have any other questions, make sure to type them in there. We will ask them for you. Go back to remixes. Have you ever heard a track and just was like, I need to remix this, or
Dude.
I need to whatever this, I need to change it.
Dude, that happens all the time. Like I actually have an Apple Note of just it's a pile like of songs that I just was like I heard it, I want to remix it, and it's just a constant source of like you know of creative ideas and just like throw them in there. So and even what'll actually happen is I'll be putting so before I stream, I'll put some playlists together. I'll kind of gather some songs together. And at some point, I'm like, oh, hey, what is this song? I forgot about it or something. Or I'm just goofing off and listening to something completely different, like Hall & Oates or something. And then literally at that moment, you know, about 4 or 5 hours before I'm supposed to stream, I'm like, I want to play this tonight. And I just put it in Ableton and I start remixing as fast as I possibly can in like 4 hours. And then, like, literally, I'm putting it onto the USB stick about 15 minutes before I go live. So no, I'm not no joke. It literally, that definitely happens a lot.
Interesting.
So out of like every remix and bootleg you've done, which one has the most meaning to you?
Ooh. Which one has the most meaning to me? Yeah, I would have to. I mean, the one that comes to mind really quickly is Castles in the Sky. You know, that kind of started as one of those. It was one of those nights where so I was playing with my friend Matt. It was like 4 a.m. at a club, and there was like 5 people on the floor, and we just wanted to end the night on a song. And we're like, hey, let's play Castles in the Sky. And he pulled it out. And I'm like, what do you has it? And he's like, it's only the radio edit of the old version.
Oh wow.
Well, we played it anyway, so it's fine. But I went home that night and I was like, man, there's got to be a better version of this, like a more modern version of this. I looked and I didn't find anything. So I said, you know what, screw it. I'll make myself one. And that's kind of, it just iterated from there. And then Marlo got involved with it. And then we got Haley in. And that's why you got Cast in the Sky. So it has a lot of meaning in terms of just like that, but it also has a lot of meaning because it was, it's a really, that song kind of blew up a lot further than I thought it was ever going to blow up. So
now I remember you, I think debuting that your original remix of Castles at the Sky, Castles in the
demo
Sky,
version
for Open Door Sessions.
It was like, yes, that was right. So we were this is the Open Door Session thing. They have these demo drops, and I put 2 demos in there. First one was original, and the other one was the remix of Castles in the Sky. And we played the first one, and Marlo was like, yeah, this is good, da 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 da. And then I think Kepik was like, hey, you guys want to hear the other one? And I was like, yeah, sure, we'll hear the other one. And he's like, this is a remix of Castles in the Sky. And Marlo was like, well, this better be good, because I really like that song. I'm like, oh. All right, dude, whatever. So, and he played it, and everybody held their phones up. It was really cool, with the lights on and everything. Like, we used to do lighters in rock shows. And he just grabbed the microphone at the end of the song and was like, hey, do you have a copy of that song? I want to play it at every festival this year. And I was like, yeah, sure, that. And then I had it, I had it in stick in my pocket, and I handed it over. So I said, yeah, sure, of course. Here, take it. Whatever you want to do with it. You're Marlo, man. Fuck it, man. Go.
Here, have the whole USB. There's a laptop.
Yeah, here's a laptop. Here's a PC I wrote it on. Here's the desk I wrote it with. Here's the empty cans of Coke that I was drinking at the same time. Like, whatever. Take everything. I don't fucking care. Yeah, so I actually had a lot of meaning because it kind of that song kind of opened doors and did a lot of other things. You know, I think this, that one had a lot of meaning. Another one had. I think another one that had a lot of meaning to me was the Celine Dion one from like way back. It was Bring Me Back to Life.
Not when you won a contest for it, right?
Yes. So I entered this contest, this remix contest, and it was Celine Dion, and I was like, come on, it's Celine Dion, Titanic and stuff. And I don't know what it was, but like she sang on this kind of trap beat, and I'm like, what is Celine Dion doing on top of trap music? This doesn't make any sense. You needed to like drown her in a shitload of reverb and put it to trance music, and that's when it's gonna sound cool. So I did that remix, and I won the contest. Sort of, I got kind of surprised that I won the contest, but I think it had a lot of meaning to me because it was the first time ever that I thought that I was good enough as a producer to actually try to get out of my bedroom. You know what I mean? Like at that point, I was just kind of messing around a lot. Still messing around a lot. But that was a moment I was like, I wonder if I could make something of this. Like this trance music producing, like if it's gonna work. So that one, I think that one had a lot of meaning too.
Did you get a chance to meet Miss Celine Dion?
No.
Oh.
That'd been cool if you could have gone like on stage with her in Vegas and like remix the song live.
You could just imagine Celine Dion, jumping around, doing
Fist bumping.
Doing the glow stick thing. You give Celine Dion 2 glow sticks, which is just on stage.
Now, speaking of remixes, Zenp Music wants to know, what was the inspiration behind the Cotton Eye Joe remix? Now I'm curious.
I think one, you should play it for everybody because I actually had a chance to hear it a couple weeks ago. You played it on the show.
I'll see if I can pull it up.
So it's really good for those. God I Joe is one of those songs that got me into electronic music. Like just
It's an iconic classic.
I fucking love that song.
It was like it's like that. It's like the one high school dance song. You're like, are you really gonna play this? And like you're like 16 years old, like, oh, Cotton Eye Joe's like, and it's like the stupidest, cheesiest song, and you're like, really, you're gonna embarrass me? And so it was sort of a troll stream, and I thought, because there was one night I was trying to figure out like what do we do with this like point redemption thing, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna play Cotton Eye Joe just to troll the shit out of my chat. And so I pulled it up on the computer and found Cotton Eye Joe. I'm like, actually, this is not in a bad tempo. What if I sped this up? Okay, wait, well, what if I put a new kick drum on it? What if I put like this on it? And then all of a sudden, this remix came out of it. I'm like, okay, this is funny. This is really actually just funny. It was like between Cotton Eye Joe, the Macarena, and like Never Give You Up, or something like that, right? And I thought Cotton Eye Joe is just that much stupider of a song that I have to do it. So so
it could have been the hamster dance.
That was literally the day. That was like the hours before I streamed that I came up with that idea, and I was like, I'm just gonna put a kick drum on it and just fucking finish the song. Like it was like 3 hours of work. Just there it is, done.
All right, can we hear it? All right, guys, this is his remix of Cotton Eye Joe. We're gonna go through the files of bootlegs and remixes that he has. This is the first time we're actually doing this. This is awesome.
Can you guys hear it okay?
Yep.
My headphones sound great.
Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you
Yeah, so there's a kick drum, right?
Oh my god.
And I'm like, wait a minute, if I put like a snare roll in here, and then drop the bass line on top of it, I'm like, okay, this is just funny now.
I love it. If you played that in a club, I would run out from backstage onto the dance floor. Like, that's huge, people.
I think it's one of those things where I when I did this, I was like just laughing the entire time I was writing the song and going, this is just so absurdly stupid and funny that I have to do it.
I love it.
I had honestly thought that, if I ever do a live gig where, I mean, if Twitch people show up at the live gig, they'll know it's coming because they'll hear that, like, part of it, and they'll know, like, oh, shit, he's going to do his Cotton Eye Joe shit. But everybody else who's never seen Triode before, all of a sudden, it's like you hear this Cotton Eye Joe, like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Like, it just...
And you're going to have all the trans elitists who are in that little corner going, oh, this isn't trans.
Yeah, this isn't trance. This is not trance.
But their foot's gonna be like
they'll be bashing on Twitter.
Actually, this is cool.
Because you can't not dance to that song.
It's like those YouTube videos of like you seen those YouTube videos of like DJs trolling people would never give you up. This is my troll song. So I just
you're never gonna give you up.
Oh my god.
Now we gotta mash the two together.
One of these. I did a mashup of NSYNC and
Oh.
Play it.
Yeah.
Play it.
Play it. I'm ready.
I don't even care if we get we'll mute it for this because I want to hear it. I agree. That's 100% a festival banger. Like 100% festival banger.
I think it needs to get sent.
So much fun to listen to and dance to. Like that's just fun. Like music doesn't always have to be serious. Sometimes
it's only 2 minutes long. It's only 2 minutes long. So.
Oh god.
See, this is just me. To me, having fun with music is just, that's what I want to do. It's just music. I don't care about genres. I don't care about any of this shit. Rock the house, y'all.
Yes.
Alright, so you know this part. I'm going to skip over it. So you can kind of hear the mashup part. Alright.
It's too good.
I'm playing this with our theme song now, Alistair.
But that's not trance.
We're gonna play that with our new fancy starting soon.
Oh my god. Alright, so sorry everybody who's been, so I subjected you to the worst possible thing ever.
No, that was absolutely amazing. We're gonna keep you on here for another hour, just playing all your amazing
Just play all the matchups. Let's go.
Shit.
All of them.
The weird shit.
And like I said earlier, I think sometimes we take music, we love music, it's all personal to us, we all have stories. Music saved my life more than one occasion. But sometimes music's not meant to be serious. Sometimes you just need to enjoy it and smile and have fun and dance and laugh with it, and I forget that sometimes.
No, I 100% agree. I think people take sometimes like music and genres a little too seriously, and I'm like, just, if you put it this way, the way I think about it is like, if you're willing to try different restaurants and different foods, why aren't you willing to try different kinds of music? So
it's a great analogy.
Just enjoy something, and if you try it out and you're like, oh, I don't like it, it's fine. You don't need to bash it. Be like, yo, dude, I don't like sushi. Okay, sorry for all you sushi friends. I tried.
Cut the stream, Alistair. Cut the stream. Alistair, cut it. Thank you guys for coming to Behind the Trance. You'll never see this episode again.
Bye.
Is this on? Sorry.
Cut.
No, so I mean, put it this way. Like I had friends who tried getting into sushi, and I really tried. They took me to a good sushi restaurant. I'm like, okay. They took me to a better sushi restaurant. Okay. We drove out 3.5 hours to one of the best sushi restaurants on the East Coast it was like super fancy. You had to like take, 3 months, advance, reservations and shit. We had to get dressed up. We had to put fucking jackets on it. So it was fucking nuts. And they're like, okay, this is the best sushi I know here on the East Coast. We don't remember where I was. This was years ago. Sorry. See how much I like sushi? And I remember this, and they're like, if you don't like it here, you don't like sushi. That's the end of it. I'm like, okay, so we're going for it. And I ordered a California roll because apparently it's the simple one.
It's basic.
Well, I tried everybody else's stuff, and I'm just like, nah.
I'm not a fan of rolls. I don't eat rolls, but
it just wasn't for me.
Yellowtail and salmon and tuna and albacore and oh my god, now I want sushi. And me and Alistair are going to take you to sushi. You're going to try it one time with us.
All right. But here's the thing. Like, I'm not going to sit there and say, okay, you know what? I know I don't like sushi, but I'll give it a shot again. I'll try it out with friends. But I know in my head I just generally don't like it. But I at least gave it a shot, and I don't bash people who like it. And to me, that's the big thing. I'm like, dude, why are you bashing other people's music if you like it or not? Like, who cares? Like, I don't like sushi, but you can, and it's fine with me. Whatever. When you go there, I'm gonna get chicken tempura because that's basically a Japanese chicken nugget. Okay, so that's
very true. Very, very true. That's easy with my friends who don't like sushi.
Yeah, we're gonna get a chicken.
We go because it's like where the birthday girl wants to have a birthday party dinner at. So that they have to go, so they do the chicken teriyaki and that dish. That's their dishes.
Exactly. Like Japanese chicken nugget, and that's what I'm gonna fucking eat. So you guys can do whatever you want. Enjoy it.
All right. As long as you do sake shots with me, we're good.
Sake shots all day long. Let's go.
We're right. Sushi it is, y'all.
So now that you've mentioned the East Coast, are you originally from the East Coast?
Yes. So Canadian. I was born in Toronto, actually Hamilton, then Toronto, then Philadelphia, New York, and then came out here west. So, yeah, so I spent most of my life in the East Coast, actually.
Oh, wow.
So,
nice.
Yeah, I'm in East Coast. Now I'm on the left coast.
The West Coast. The best coast.
The left one and the right one. There's the right coast and the wrong coast.
Based off the weather, you were on the right coast.
Especially
now. I do miss snow. Although people out in Texas right now are just like they're just buried in the shit. And I'm like, I like snow, but not that much. That's a lot of snow.
Yeah, when I see pictures on Facebook, I realize why I still love Southern California.
Anyways, trance to me, genres and stuff, I don't ascribe. The only thing that I think genres do is make it easier to find stuff on Beatport. That's about it. Once it gets out of Beatport and somebody's CDJs or on stage, to me it doesn't really matter. It's just a style of music that's just different from other styles of music. And there was an article somewhere about how EDC proves that the genre is dead. Because you can go from one stage to the next stage to the next stage, and you can sample all this different kind of music, and I think that's cool. And then even now today, you hear like two genres being pushed together, and it's like, okay, that's cool. You have like drum and bass that sounds like trance music, and then you have melodic bass, and then it's there's melodies in it, and then you have techno that's kind of trancey, and you have trance that's kind of
techno is. I've heard more almost tech trance in techno these days.
Yeah.
But then that's the thing, though. And to me, that is cool to hear some other sounds, some other things getting kind of shoved into other pieces of music. And I think that's, we talk about the remixes. That's the remixes I do is basically a reflection of whatever I'm listening to. So there's like hard style sounds now in my remixes. I downloaded. I have all these trap sample packs because I'm like these sounds are really cool. Although I'm not writing trap music, but there's certain sounds in there that are like really cool, and I just shove them into trance music. It's subtle, but it's there, and I think that's just it's whatever I'm listening to. There's classical music in here, and there's like punch music over there, and it's just all in there. Just as long as it sounds neat. So.
Again, I 100% agree with that. I think it's also sometimes when you get that break from just the one genre and you hear other things on it. I know I get a lot of shit sometimes because everyone's like, "You listen to things outside trance?" Well, yes, I love things outside trance. Well, trance is just always going to be my number one. Like, if you give me like you can pick trance or this, 97% of the time I'm going to pick trance just because that's where my heart goes.
Yeah.
But I love the other things. So I like when they're mixed. I come, from the '90s where we didn't really have genres. We just all called it house or all called it techno, depending on what state you came from.
Yeah.
And I didn't really know the difference between the genres, and honestly, probably until like the mid 2000s, when everyone started labeling things. Because in the '90s, it literally was just all there, and then when you download half the music on Napster, if you didn't give your parents' computer the blue screen of death, you didn't know what you got. Like, for the longest time, I didn't realize. We're talking about Castles in the Sky. I thought DJ Sammy was the original person on that because my original time I downloaded it said DJ Sammy on it on Napster. So for like 6 years of my life, I only had a DJ Sammy Castles in the Sky, and didn't know. Some other dude did it.
I'll tell you. You know what I wish Spotify would have? I wish they have a button that just says fucking anything.
Yes.
Press it, and it would just play completely random shit all the time. Like, it's just no genres, no algorithms. It just picks out of the fucking hat and just does it. And I think that would be neat because for me, I actually don't listen to trance outside of either Twitch or when I'm writing it and stuff like that. I listen to like everything else. I said this before. In the rate stream, that's kind of why I wanted to have Buck Rogers in there, because he plays everything, not trance, and he literally plays techno and R&B and hip hop and rock music and funk. And he actually figures out how to mix all of this together. And it is insane to watch, and I love it. And he's never played a trance track, but he was like, I'm like, wait, you're playing Adam Bear, and then next thing you know, like, he's going into like R&B, and like, this is just nuts, and it sounds really cool when he does it. So to me, it's I like that kind of thing where it's, I like music. That's it. So it's all there. Yeah. Sorry, I'll get off the genre horse now.
My old oh god, not iPhone, the iPod. It was like, what's that old product that they don't have? The iPod did that.
The one with the little wheel thing on it.
The Microsoft Zoo.
That came back in 2006. That was like trying to get to Z. And you would no idea. People were like, "What the fuck is on it?" Because you would get literally like country, and then you would get like High School Musical, and then you would get like Tiesto, and then you would get like Tupac, and then back to R&B.
Yeah.
And then suddenly to Shostakovich.
It's I like music. That's just the way it is. So everything kind of everything in my head is just smushed in there, like all of it. I don't know half the time where anything comes from. I'm just like, yeah, I heard that melody sounds cool. Oh, it's kind of like a ballad melody. I don't know. Is that trancey enough? It sounds good.
So we actually have a question from request question.
A request
question. I'm not sure I'm gonna say this.
So
Rena says that RJ wants to do a triode. I almost said it wrong again. Triode versus Nostalgic Dreamer mashup battle.
A triode versus something? What?
Nostalgic Dreamer mashup.
Nostalgic Dreamer. Okay.
It's battle of the mashups.
I want that.
So how does that work? We make a mashup, and then like it goes into like.
I don't. I have to figure out how to do it dual.
Like a Final Four.
Figure out how you guys can do it back to back in two different areas. Like, you got to figure a program for that. So you can DJ at the same time, back to back in two different areas.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't quite understand what what he wanted to do, but hey,
we'll figure it out.
We'll figure
it out.
We'll figure out the battle. We'll figure it out.
I like ideas. Let's go with it. We'll try something. We'll figure something out.
God.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
If you guys have any other questions, ask in there. We are over our hour. We're already at an hour and
Oh my
10
God.
minutes.
I'm
That
so
time goes
sorry.
by so fast every time.
did.
I don't even know how sometimes we go that fast. So before I forget, let me do our shout outs that we need to thank you to everybody. So of course, thank you to the amazing Amanda and AV Designs for everything she does for us. She's absolutely the most amazing human being on earth. So use her for whatever you need that kind of thing for. And then Vanessa Garcia, Vanguard, who does all our flyers. Definitely gotta thank her. And everyone else who's here today, thank you for joining in. So before I
Thank
forget those.
you.
As well as we have a very busy next few weeks. We are back next week on the 20th. No, next week, the 7th. I have no idea what day it is. The 24th. Today's the 17th. We have the 24th. We have Paul Thomas.
I need
Yes.
background music for this. Come on, so keep going.
No,
keep going.
no.
I think the
No.
background music needs to turn up just a little bit more.
It's like,
But I can barely hear it.
It's the Oscars.
Yes, you're talking me off.
that's
And
what I'm
we talk about,
talking
we have
about.
Paul Thomas, and then we have the following week we have Meta and Glide, and then we have Sona, and then we have Sam Mitchum, and then we have Alan Watts. So yeah, next 5 weeks, make sure you guys are here.
We're
It's
going
all on Facebook,
big.
It's all on our website, www.behindthetrance.com, and that is it. We're going back to asking questions and playing other random stuff that comes out of his computer. Thank you.
No, I want more of this music. Okay, never
The
mind.
Oscars music.
I love it. I'm living for that. It's,
There's a lot of crap in this machine over here. There's a lot of.
I'm telling you, we need to use this, like a pop-up button or something so we can make all these different music noises when we, make mistakes or we need background music or that.
oh.
No, I'm just messing. Okay, go. Sorry.
I still want the Contact, no, not the Contact Joe, the Never Gonna Give You Up. I want that.
I
as our
need
theme
that.
Song.
I'll send.
I want that remix. I want that bootleg as my theme or mashup as my
I'll send. I'll
as our
send it to
theme
you.
song. So
I'll send it to you after we stream. Hit me up and I'll send that file to you.
yes.
God.
And Beyond Trance has a mashup for a theme song.
Crazy. Yes.
Even though it's not trance.
It is trance because it's in my heart, and trance is a feeling. That's what Gareth said.
Sure. It's a title. To me, it's just music.
It is.
Gareth said it's a feeling, and I felt that song, so therefore it's trance.
Okay, there you go. It's a feeling.
Thank you,
Just
Base
make you
Spirit
feel good.
Memory.
So we'll go with
Yes.
it. We'll go with it.
God.
Spoke it. That's it. That's the
We'll go.
rules.
How long is this thing was supposed to go? It was like an hour? I can't remember.
We try to go for an hour, and every time we go over an hour.
Oh, okay.
You
Well,
could go
we're
over
fine.
an
All
hour.
right, I'm gonna grab another water. Hold on.
Alright. You should put some theme music while you were leaving.
You won't. Anyway, chat, how are you doing today?
Yeah, how chat? How are you guys
Are
going?
you having a great time?
Have you guys got any other questions before we wrap up here, since we are way over, or not way over time, but we're definitely past the time. If you guys have any questions, ask them away. Yes, we do have an awesome lineup coming up of DJs. So that's awesome.
If we get flagged, I'm okay with that.
Okay, sorry.
Oh.
Now we just need the lasers to start shooting.
God.
Yeah.
When can I get my Triode hats?
So you know what's really funny about those Triode hats? These are not manufactured anymore. I found this out.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I've been trying to buy them up as fast as I can, so I have them, but apparently, because I found the company who has them, and I called up the company and I said, hey, can I buy like 30 of these things? They're like, we don't manufacture them anymore. I'm like, you don't. So where are they? They're like, all the other distributors have them. So I've been like finding all the other distributors all over the internet and trying to buy them up.
Oh God.
That hat is so awesome, though.
It is. It's pretty fun.
It adds to your energetic personality. So
Yeah, it was a total mistake too. Like it was supposed to be, it was because of COVID. I had COVID hair and I didn't want it like the first stream I had. I didn't want my hair to be on the stream, so I put this hat on. It was like it's part of a costume, and I just like ran. I just put the hat on, And then everybody's in the chat is like, "Hey, I love the hat." I'm like, "Okay, they like the hat. I guess
The hat stays.
I get the hat stays. I guess we're gonna wear the hat every single stream now." You know, and if I go to a live show, I'm gonna have to have the hat.
Well,
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, you could have a worse prop. You could have like a bucket on your head.
Or a giant mouse head.
Yeah.
wow.
He doesn't even like playing with it though. Like Joel
Yeah.
hates the fact that he has to like wear it because otherwise his fans get mad. Like he says it all the time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, he has his mouse head. I have my hat, and Daft Punk has their space helmet. So everybody's got a thing. It's cool. Or like a big white marshmallow on his head with 2 X's.
Yeah, I forgot about
Works.
marshmallow.
I'm okay with the marshmallow. You know, maybe I'll put like
If it's
a
your
puff.
thing,
Yeah, I'll just make a gigantic cupcake and put it on my head. You know, cupcake.
only if you play Katy Perry with it.
This is my next mashup, Katy Perry.
Do it.
Is there any more questions you have?
Oh God. Putting me on the spot here.
I'm totally putting you on the spot.
It's all good. It's all good.
Or anybody out there, you guys have any other questions before we go? Get them in here.
What is next?
What is next?
Yeah, like what is next in your musical journey?
So.
Or can you not talk about it? Either way, it's all good.
No. What's next? Well, we got a lot. I mean, obviously we have the train, the raid train coming up this obviously week. I got a couple tracks I'm working on. One is with Lenny. I have one coming out in May.
Everybody working with Lenny. I love it.
She's
Amazing
absolutely
vocals.
fantastic.
She's so super awesome.
And I think in the next year she's gonna be up in the elites
Yep.
singers.
Yeah, she's an amazing singer, great songwriter, really easy to work with. So can't wait to get this record on, get into the computer and get working on it. Sent her a demo. She loved the demo, so I gotta still work on it a little bit. Track coming out in May. That's with Clara Yates. I have a collab with Dominant Space that we have.
Ooh.
I don't know when that's coming out, so we're working on that one. We have some live shows that we're planning as well. That's save the date, July 31st. If everything COVID works out, July 31st will be the day. So I'll be playing live along with 4 other headliners. And
CFSF show.
I'm working with Ulrich on that one.
Ooh.
It's going to be like a 12-hour show that we're doing.
I have
in
like
San Francisco.
$700 in like flight credit to San Francisco for everything I had to cancel last year.
should come up.
I got a
So
shitload
I
of
have
those.
So I have like some of them where I can only fly to San Francisco because of the flight that I booked or where I bought it from. So I have to eventually use these trips. So
That'll be yes. Well, hold one for July 31st. If we can make that all work, hold that one. I think it's going to be a really good show.
Should be.
It's a really good show. Yeah. So I think
we can do a show behind the Trance live at that live show.
that would be a really cool idea. We are going to live stream the whole thing, obviously, because now we're on Twitch. But it will be a live show. We're going to have cameras and camera crews and stream the whole thing. We have those in line.
We will be the MCs.
Yep. And I know
people in between sets.
and I know Tyus and I have been kind of joking a lot about doing this tour, and we're starting to ask ourselves, is this a joke or is this for real? So we.
I support this decision.
So we've been thinking about it, and we're still trying to figure out like the planning stage, because the problem with planning anything now is if this weren't pandemic, we'd be able to plan it now and get all the venues and promoters and all the stuff lined up throughout the year. But of course, it's like every time you plan something, you're like, oh no, we're still in
3 more months.
Yeah,
6
we're
more
still
months.
3 more months. Yeah, exactly. So you don't. So we're like, we're planning for the best, but kind of knowing that we could be heading for the worst. So we're you know, it's still a lot of talk right now, but we'll see where it goes. Hopefully, so yeah, more music, obviously, mashups, of course, and remixes and all that sort of stuff. All that stuff's just free, just give away. Live shows, and maybe some more updates for the app too. So now playing. It works with Tractor and with Pioneer equipment, and I think pretty soon I'll have it working for Serato. For Serato DJs
Nice.
out there, we'll get it working for that.
So we have RJ says or asks, when are you guys going to finish your collab?
The Shantae's collab. I don't know. Like we all. It's funny. We go in these like divergent directions. So like he does his thing, I do my thing, and then we come back. We're like, oh, let's work on this, and then we work on it a little bit, and then it's just we have a lot of fun with it. So yeah, maybe sometime, at some point, maybe.
Some point. You heard that here.
Hopefully.
And Senpai, is that how you say his name? Senpai?
Yeah, we just gotta find the right. We gotta find.
Says he's DJing the Airbnb after party for the July 31st. So.
Okay. Fair enough.
Got you in there.
All right. I'll be there with.
I'm on the guest list.
Be there with a bottle of whiskey. It'll be fun. Let's go.
I support this decision with sushi.
You had me at sushi.
I'm just gonna have the nuggets. It's fine.
Perfect sushi date. Go with you. I eat all the sushi. You just go there.
And the sake. I'm gonna have the sake, and you guys can have the sushi.
That works.
But you can also have the chicken katsu.
What's that?
You could have the chicken katsu as well.
Yeah, chicken katsu. I'll just stick with the sushi. I'll just stick with the sake. The whole time. That's it. That's all.
Just sake.
Just the sake.
Just the sake. Just the sake. After like this fourth shot, you won't even remember what food is.
This is true. So there is a way to get him to like sushi. There has to be.
I'm still open to it. If sushi's a thing, I'm still willing to try. Just saying that the odds are low because every time it's been, I just hadn't liked it. So, hey.
The odds are low, but
it's never.
I'm willing to try because that means I'm still gonna eat sushi in the process. It's a win-win for me.
There you go. So you're like, oh well.
If you don't like it, more
don't
sushi.
Like it, more for you.
More sushi for me. If you like it, you're not a sushi lover. I haven't even person to have sushi with. So win-win situation.
There you go.
Update from RJ. He actually meant the bootleg collab that you two started.
Which one? I'm not joking. Like
Oh no.
So I get this every once in a while. Like, hey, can I get a copy of that bootleg? I'm like,
no, RJ Van Zetten.
His one. Yeah, I don't know. I had the project's still somewhere in the computer. I gotta go pull it up. So yeah, I'll look into it. Look into it.
I double that. Wow.
Wow.
There's a lot of it's too many projects.
There's a lot of bootlegs. There's a lot of bootlegs.
Way too many projects. It's if there's a thing about the producers that just like that they're like, oh, I start so many projects but I never finish them. By the way, that never ends. Okay. I have a folder, literally, like probably I make a new folder for every year, right? And in that folder is every song I start, and I think for 2020, that thing was like a good 120 folders deep. There was like 120 fucking projects in there.
Oh my god.
And probably the ratio is about 1 to 10 of music that actually manages to finish. You know what I mean? Not the bootlegs. The bootlegs and mashups were different, but like actual originals and remixes and stuff like that. It's like 1 out of 10. So to me, it's a numbers game. How many things you can start writing and how many can you actually finish? Trust me, you never actually end up. I start lots of projects and never. There's a lot of projects that I start for myself, and I'm like, yeah, this is cool, and it's like 8 bars, and that's it. So.
Never going to give you up.
Yeah. There you go. Looking for chats.
I think Arena wants a drink. It's like our third time mentioning liquor in chat. So, if you guys have any other questions, let's get them in there. Otherwise, we're going to start wrapping up here since we're at the 90-minute mark.
Just about.
And that went by super fast.
Did.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Thank you.
I absolutely loved having you on. Even though I didn't understand half the coding stuff you were talking about, I think I learned something.
You will learn in time.
I do. If I repeat some of it, I'm gonna sound really smart in a conversation. These are the something, and there was another project within the project.
God.
So, final question from me. So pre-pandemic, we all have taken things for granted in the past. What is something that you will never take for granted again?
Traveling. I mean, I like traveling myself, but I think I think we took it for granted. I think I won't take it for granted ever again. You know, not just me, but I think everybody, because as much as I think Twitch, you know, brought a lot of people together, I still miss the crowds. I still miss the show. I still miss the lights. I still miss the loud music. I still miss seeing my friends, and that was only possible because we can travel. Mm-hmm. And so, I feel like if anything, I think traveling to me is the one thing I won't take for granted ever again. The ability to just get in a car and go to the next town for fuck's sake, or get on a plane or something and go somewhere. I don't think I'll ever take that for granted ever again. And if you ever catch me complaining about airports ever again, please hit me in the face. Just just tell me. Just say, hey Chris, yeah, 2020. Remember, never forget. And I'm like, okay, yes, I love airports. I love sitting here. I love waiting at my gate. I love delays. Everything's awesome.
I can't wait to be delayed at SFO. You have no idea. I can't wait to be sitting on the tarmac again for 30 minutes.
I love the middle seat. I love the weird little bathrooms. I love the stupid little paper cups. I love the little.
I love the crying
tiny
babies.
Bottles of liquor that you buy for $20 and doesn't do anything for you. I love it.
I love that I can finish 2 of those on a flight from Long Beach to San Francisco. I'm sitting on the tarmac for 30 minutes.
I love all those people who have never traveled before and try to fit their entire gigantic luggage in the overhead compartment and they can't fit it and they hold up everybody. I love those guys.
So I tell my luggage the same. One of our people here, they just said I sometimes look at my baggage and just tell it how much I miss it and then hug it because I miss hugging my friends that I travel to see. And I've done that. My brother at Christmas 2019 bought me a brand new travel-on case. So I hadn't used it because obviously wasn't traveling anywhere. So it was just sitting there and I felt so bad. So it was like, you thought you were going to go all these places this year. You were brand new. You went to a nice home and you never played with it. So I talked to my luggage. I felt bad for it.
Yeah, I won't. I don't think I'll. I think I won't take the ability to travel somewhere else and go somewhere. I don't think I'll take that for granted anymore.
Not at all. What about you, Alistair?
My final question is, it's simple, but you can look at it as complex. If you had to tell the world one thing, what would it be?
If I had to tell the world one thing, what would it be? Buy my music?
There it is. Thank you for tuning in, everybody.
Thank you very, very much.
Yeah. And good night.
No, wear your mask. I don't. Wow, that's a really good question. I think it'd be along the lines of, respect other people, respect their place, respect what they like, respect that stuff, and respect where they come from. Because it's we we talk about music for a bit and say, like, I oh, I hate country music. Well, respect it, because if you take away the pickup trucks and all the the twang, it's still music. There's still something that somebody else likes, and to respect that, not just in music but other people. Um, you know, as much as I hate to say, as much as I probably hate to say this, all the politics and stuff like that. Like, I kind of have to respect the fact that some of these people are angry because they felt like they've been wronged in some way. So like, you have to respect at least that in some way. So I think that if yeah, I know this is very philosophical, but if I have to say something to the whole world, that's what I would say. Respect other people,
Absolutely love it. Absolutely.
I love it.
I guess. Here's your curveball question. Go.
So, I think that's it for tonight.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for having me. This is a shitload of fun. This is awesome.
I'm so glad you
Thank
enjoyed
you.
it. Thank you. And me and Alistair, we're still working out kinks and stuff, but we really do appreciate you joining us for this. Absolutely amazing. Very, very fun. So, of course, I love you. Definitely.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah,
all the fun times backstage, running around.
Thank you for everybody who's watching and watching the stream, and everybody who asked questions. Thank you so much.
Awesome. So I think we're going to be rating Trance Family LA this week because we did San Francisco last week.
Cool.
LA's this week.
Cool.
I gotta get that chat.
So if you guys are in here, you guys are going to head over to LA in the chat. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Triode again, thank you so much. We appreciate it. I'm Mama Danielle.
Take care, everybody.
Alistair, not paying attention.
I am paying attention. I just don't have access to chat because I forgot to.
Did you send us? Are we being sent?
Are we still on?
Yeah. For now. Until we get chat.
Is that our go-away of music?
It's the Oscar music.
This is the Oscar music? Alright.
Are we still on?
We're still on.
We are
shit.
always on. Right, here we go.
Alright,
Trance
we're
Family
going,
LA.
Thank
5
you.
seconds.
Figure out how to type that one.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Bye, guys.
Rating.